Our world is not meritocratic, but we like to believe in this beautiful idea of merit because we all feel like all of the things that we have worked for and we have put in so much work and so much effort, and that is why we have them. But we fail to see the real, beautiful way that the world works. We fail to see because we like to believe in this idea, this wonderful, beautiful, majestic idea of meritocracy, but we don't see the formula. It has three things. It has work, of course, it has risk, and it has luck. But you have to understand that if you focus just on work, no matter how smart you are, you will never have disproportional results. You have to work with all three. You have to also consider risk because that is something that you can control. You have to realize that it is so interesting to look at the world. Most smart people never end up taking risk. You have to realize that they cannot remember the last time they haven't done something that had 100% guarantee of working. That is most smart people. Most of them take zero risk. They cannot remember the last time they failed. You see, dumb people, on the other hand, take unnecessary risk. They usually take so much risk without even knowing because they do not understand how the world works. So they take on unnecessary risk. But you have to realize that in order to be more and to have more results and better ones, you have to take smart risk. You have to do things and have a failure rate greater than zero. You have to go into the 80 and 90 percentile of failure rates. In other words, you have 1 in 10 chances or 1 in 5 chances of actually succeeding. But you have to understand that you can play the game. You don't have to try just once. You can try 10 times, 14 times, 100 times until something hits. Because usually you have to only win once. One of those wins can really change your life. But you have to understand that most things don't even have to include money. Most things only require effort, but you have to tolerate the risk associated with that effort. You have to be okay with things not working your way. And that is why most people don't really get ahead in life, no matter how smart they are, no matter how able they are, no matter how competent they are. They can never escape the low threshold that they've been hitting for the last 10 years, 5 years, however many years it's been. They just feel stuck at a certain level. And it's usually not because they don't work hard. Most people work very hard. But you have to realize it is more about risk and luck. And usually it's funny because risk and luck have to do with the same thing, which is probability. And usually probability can be gamed on your favor. You have to realize that most people play to just test things out as opposed to play to win. When you understand that the probability is like 20% of success and 80% failure, you can play 5 times, 6 times, 10 times until you win once. Usually you just have to find that failure rate. You have to find how many times will I need to do this in order to get the result. But you see, that's the problem. Because when you have an opportunity in your hand and you do it and you fail, most people will not continue. But when presented with the opportunity in a different way, they might do it. But most of them will not, because they cannot tolerate that failure rate. You have to understand that you have to go beyond the first try. You have to understand if that opportunity, give it enough repetitions, usually it's about 10 to 15 repetitions, until you find a modicum of success. Understand that you cannot really discern any conclusive data from one try. You have to try multiple times, a bare minimum of 10 to 15 times. If you really, really want to do that one thing and you want to be successful in it, you have to do it thousands of times. That's how you actually learn what the probabilities are and how to play the game. It is thousands of times. You have to realize that that's what it takes. That's how you turn the risk in your favor. Because at some point, the risk doesn't matter anymore. Because you've done so much that now you improve the odds. So it comes down to work as well. But most people don't understand that sometimes you have to really risk it for the biscuit. And they don't understand. Of course, luck has a different component, which is basically the culture that you have been raised in, the ability to go to school, the family that you have, the inheritance. All of these things are luck. But you have to understand that there are a lot of people working more than everybody, and yet they do not have better results than them. That's why meritocracy is not really working. It is because there are people out there who work 10 times more than other people who have plenty more. But we like to look at them and tell, oh, these are the people who inherited. These are the people who have done that. Sure, they've been lucky, but we've been lucky as well. I can assure you, there is someone out there working harder than you for less. And it is not because they cannot get more. It is because they haven't been lucky enough to have your circumstances. They haven't been lucky enough to get the education that you got, to get the family. No matter how dysfunctional it was, you had a family at least. You had some guidance. You had some things, some values, no matter how broken they were. You have to realize that some people have a better situation than others. And that is luck as well. Maybe you met someone who actually told you something, a story, whatever it is, maybe this video, who told you, look, most people, if they try once and fail, they never try again. They never understand, they never learn that most good things in life, you have to try many times until you find the success rate or the failure rate of that task, of that endeavor. And once you find it, you now know how many times you have to do it to succeed. Usually, afterwards, you only have to succeed once because you understand now why this worked. That's the point. You fail 14 times and then you win once. And because you won and you understand what was different about this try, maybe it's nothing different. Maybe that's the failure rate. You have to try 15 times and then in the last one, you actually succeed. And now you have to accept that. You have to realize that that's how you should do things. Is it worth it? You look back and analyze, was it worth it? Is it really the result that I want? But most people don't go there and they ask themselves why they are stuck. It is not because they don't work hard. It is because they don't tolerate risk.